Hello, everyone, and welcome back to World of English. I'm your host, Ina, and I am so happy to be here with you today. It's a beautiful day, and we have a really special lesson planned. So get comfortable and let's start our English journey together. But I'm not alone today. My wonderful co-host, Ali, is here with me. Ali, say hello to our listeners.
Hey everyone, Ali here. Thanks for having me, Ina.
Always. But wait, I hear something in your voice. Is everything okay? You sound a little different today.
You noticed, huh? To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I have a big job interview next week, and my mind is just everywhere.
Oh, a job interview. That is exciting news. But why nervous? You are so talented and you have great experience.
Thank you, Ina. The problem is not my experience. I know what I want to say in my own language, but in English, I feel like I forget everything, especially that first question. You know the one. Tell me about yourself. I freeze. I start saying random things, and I feel like I don't sound professional at all.
Ah, I see. Tell me about yourself. That is the most common question in interviews. And it's also the one that makes the most people nervous, even native speakers.
Really? So I'm not the only one?
Not at all. The problem is, we often try to say everything about our lives, and it becomes messy. But when you know a simple structure and the right phrases, that question becomes your best friend.
A structure. Right phrases. Okay, you have my full attention.
Good, because today that is exactly our topic. We are going to learn how to introduce yourself in a job interview with confidence, with clarity, and in a way that makes the interviewer want to know more about you.
Wait, you planned this lesson because of my interview?
Maybe, or maybe I just knew that many of our listeners are looking for jobs, or will be soon. So today is for you, Ali, and for everyone who wants to feel ready for that big moment.
Okay, I'm officially feeling a little less nervous already. Let's do this.
Perfect. But before we jump into the lesson, let's take a moment to ask our listeners for a small favor. And I promise it's really small.
Oh, here we go. Ina always says small favor, but it's usually a big one.
No, I promise. This one is truly small, but it makes a huge difference.
Okay, I'm listening. What is it?
Well, you know how nervous you felt about your interview, and how you wished you had a lesson like this before.
Absolutely.
Imagine there's someone else, maybe a friend, a family member, or even a stranger in another country who is feeling the exact same way right now. They have a job interview coming up, but they don't know the right words to say, and they're searching for help.
Okay, that hits close to home.
So here's the favor. If you're listening to this and you find this lesson helpful, please do three small things. First, give this episode a like. It's a tiny click, but it tells the platform that this content is useful so more people can discover it.
That makes sense. And the second?
Second, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way, you never miss a future episode where we break down more real-life English situations.
And I know sometimes people think subscribing is just for the channel, but really,
Exactly. It's for you and for others. When you subscribe, you're helping this podcast grow so we can keep making lessons that actually help people like you and Ali.
and the third?
The third is the most important. Share this episode with one person, maybe a friend who's looking for a job, maybe a colleague who's nervous about speaking English in professional settings, or share it in a group where learners gather.
I love that. Because honestly, when I was struggling with my interview preparation, if someone had shared something like this with me, I would have been so grateful.
Exactly. So that's the favor. A like, a subscribe, and a share. It costs almost nothing, but it helps someone out there feel more confident and prepared. And now, with that done,
Now we can get to the good stuff.
yes, let's get into today's lesson. Ali, are you ready to build your perfect interview introduction?
I was born ready. Well, maybe after a coffee, but yes, let's go.
Perfect. So let's start with the most important question of all. Tell me about yourself. So, Ali, let's imagine you're sitting in the interview. The interviewer looks at you, smiles, and says, "So, Ali, tell me about yourself." What is the first thing that comes to your mind?
My name is Ali. I was born in... No, that's too much. Maybe I say, I am a graphic designer. I have experience. I want this job. But it sounds boring, like a robot.
A robot. Okay, I can hear that. The good news is there is a very simple formula that turns that robot answer into a clear, confident story, and it has 3 parts.
3 parts. Okay, I can handle 3 parts.
Yes, I call it the present, past, future formula.
Present, past, future. Like grammar?
A little bit, but in this case, it's about your story. Let me explain.
Please.
Part 1, present. You start by telling them who you are now. What do you currently do? What is your current role or main skill? For example, I am a graphic designer, or I currently work as a marketing assistant.
Okay, that's simple. I am a graphic designer. That's my present.
Exactly. Then part 2, past. You briefly mention your relevant experience. Where did you come from professionally? What did you do before? For example, I have worked in design for 3 years. Or previously, I worked as a junior designer at a small agency.
So I could say, I have worked as a graphic designer for 3 years, and before that, I studied visual communication.
Perfect. You already connected your past to your present. Now, part 3, future. This is where you connect everything to this job. Why are you excited about this opportunity? What do you want to do next? For example, I am excited to bring my skills to your company because I want to work on larger projects, or I want to work on creative projects that reach many people.
Oh, so the future is not just about me, it's about me and the company.
Yes, you understand it perfectly. So let's put all 3 together. If I were the interviewer and I asked you, tell me about yourself, how would you answer using present, past, future?
Let me try. I am a graphic designer. I have worked in design for 3 years, and before that, I studied visual communication. I'm excited to bring my skills to your company because I want to work on creative projects that reach many people.
Allie, that was excellent. Did you hear how clear that was?
Really? It felt smooth. I wasn't lost.
Because you had a map, present, past, future. The interviewer now knows who you are, where you came from, and where you want to go, and it all connects.
I like this. It's like telling a mini story about my professional life.
Exactly, and that is the foundation. But now let's add some special phrases to make your story even more powerful, because facts are good, but passion and personality make people remember you.
Oh, I like the sound of that. What kind of phrases?
Let's talk about that in our next chapter. But first, tell me, how do you feel about the present, past, future structure?
Honestly, I feel much more confident. Before, I was just saying random facts. Now I have a structure. It's like building a house. You need a strong frame first.
That's a great way to think about it. And next, we're going to decorate that house with the perfect furniture. Ready?
Ready.
So, Allie, now you have the structure. Present, past, future. You know what to say and in what order. But I want to ask you something.
Okay, ask me.
When you gave your answer earlier, you sounded clear and organized, but did you feel excited? Did your answer show the interviewer that you actually love what you do?
That's a good question. I said the facts. I'm a designer. I have 3 years of experience. I want to work on creative projects. But you're right. I didn't say why I love it. I didn't show any energy.
Exactly. And here is the secret. In a job interview, facts get you considered, but energy and passion get you hired. Interviewers meet many people with similar experience, but they remember the person who made them feel something.
Okay, so how do I add that energy? I don't want to sound fake or too excited.
Great question. You add what I call flavor phrases. These are small, natural expressions that show your enthusiasm and professionalism. And the best part, they are easy to learn and use.
I'm listening. Give me some examples.
Let me give you 3 powerful ones. The first is, I'm passionate about.
I'm passionate about. That's strong. What do I put after it?
You put the thing you truly love. For example, I'm passionate about creating designs that tell a story, or I'm passionate about helping people communicate through visuals.
Okay, so instead of saying, I am a graphic designer, I could combine it. I am a graphic designer and I'm passionate about creating designs that tell a story.
Yes, Did you hear how that sounds different?
It sounds like I actually care, not just that I have a job.
Exactly. Now, the second phrase, one of my strengths is.
One of my strengths is.
This is perfect for highlighting what makes you special. For example, one of my strengths is taking complex ideas and making them simple and beautiful.
I like that. It shows confidence without being arrogant. Okay, let me try both together. I'm a graphic designer with 3 years of experience. One of my strengths is taking complex ideas and making them simple and beautiful.
That is already so much stronger than your first answer. And there's one more phrase. This one is about the future. I'm looking for an opportunity to.
I'm looking for an opportunity to.
Yes, this shows that you're not just taking any job. You're choosing this company because it offers something special. For example, I'm looking for an opportunity to work on projects that reach a global audience.
Okay, let me try to put everything together. My structure, present, past, future. My flavor phrases, passionate about, one of my strengths, looking for an opportunity. Ready?
Ready, go for it.
I'm a graphic designer, and I'm passionate about creating designs that tell a story. I have worked in design for 3 years, and before that, I studied visual communication. One of my strengths is taking complex ideas and making them simple and beautiful. I'm excited to bring my skills to your company because I'm looking for an opportunity to work on creative projects that reach many people.
Ali, that was completely different from your first answer. Before, you sounded like someone listing facts. Now, you sound like someone who knows their value and is excited to contribute.
I feel different. When I used those phrases, I felt more confident, like I was showing who I really am, not just what I do.
That is exactly the goal. The structure gives you order. The flavor phrases give you personality. Together, they make you memorable.
Okay, I'm feeling much better about my interview now.
Good. But there is one more thing. In an interview, it's not just about you talking. Sometimes the interviewer will ask you more questions, and there's a simple word that can make your answers much stronger.
A simple word?
Yes, the word is because. Let me show you what I mean in our next chapter.
Because. Okay, now I'm curious.
So, Ali, we've talked about structure, we've added flavor phrases, you've learned how to present yourself clearly and with personality. But there's one thing left.
What's that?
Practice. Real practice. Because knowing something in your mind and saying it in a real situation are two different things.
You're right, I can say it perfectly to you now, but in the interview, with the interviewer looking at me, my mind might go empty.
Exactly. That's why we're going to do a role play. I'll be the interviewer, you will be the candidate, and we'll practice the full introduction together.
Okay, let's do it.
And remember, this is a safe space. If you make a mistake, it's okay. We'll try again. The goal is to build your confidence.
I appreciate that. Okay, I'm ready.
Great. So let's imagine you're applying for a position as a senior graphic designer at a creative agency called Vision Studio. I'm the hiring manager. Are you ready?
Ready.
Good morning, Ali. Thank you for coming in today. I have reviewed your portfolio and I'm very impressed. To start, could you please tell me a little about yourself?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Well, I'm a graphic designer and I'm passionate about creating designs that tell a story. I have worked in design for 3 years, and before that, I studied visual communication. One of my strengths is taking complex ideas and making them simple and beautiful. I'm excited to bring my skills to your company because I'm looking for an opportunity to work on creative projects that reach many people.
That was a wonderful introduction. I can hear your passion for design. Tell me, why specifically Vision Studio? What drew you to our company?
I have followed your work for some time. I admire how your designs are always clear, but also creative. I believe my style matches your company's approach, and I want to be part of a team that values both simplicity and beauty.
Excellent answer. And what would you say is your greatest professional strength?
I would say one of my greatest strengths is my attention to detail. I believe small details make a big difference in design. I always check my work carefully to make sure everything is perfect before presenting it.
That is a very important quality. And what about a weakness? Everyone has something they're working on.
I think sometimes I spend too much time on small details. I want everything to be perfect, but I am learning to balance quality with efficiency and trust my team more.
That's a very honest and thoughtful answer. Thank you, Ollie. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I would love to know more about the team I would be working with. What is the culture like at Vision Studio?
Great question. We have a very collaborative and supportive team. We believe in growing together.
That sounds wonderful. I work best in environments where people support each other.
Okay, role play over. Allie, that was genuinely excellent.
Really? I was so nervous at the beginning.
But you didn't show it. Do you know what I noticed?
What?
First, you used the present, past, future structure perfectly. You started with who you are now, mentioned your experience, and connected it to the company.
I did, didn't I?
Second, you used the flavor phrases naturally. I'm passionate about. One of my strengths is. These made you sound confident and professional.
And when you asked about the weakness question, I almost panicked.
But you answered beautifully. You were honest, you showed self-awareness, and you mentioned what you were doing to improve. That is exactly what interviewers want to hear.
I feel so much better now. Actually, practicing made it real. My mind didn't go empty.
Because you prepared, and preparation builds confidence. Now, there is one more tool I want to give you, a small word that makes your answers much stronger, especially when they ask why.
The word because, right? You mentioned it before.
Exactly. Let me show you how because can turn a good answer into a great one. So, Allie, in our role play, you did a fantastic job, but there was one moment where I could see you thinking a little deeper.
When you asked why specifically Vision Studio, right?
Exactly. And you answered well, but let me show you how adding one small word can make an answer like that even stronger.
The word because.
Yes, because is a small word with a big job. When you say because, you give a reason, and reasons make your answers feel thoughtful and confident.
Okay, show me. In my answer, I said I admired their work and my style matched their approach. How would I add because there?
Let me show you the difference. Listen to this version. I have followed your work for some time. I admire how your designs are always clear but also creative. I believe my style matches your company's approach.
That's what I said.
Now listen to this version with because. I have followed your work for some time because I admire how your designs are always clear but also creative. I believe my style matches your company's approach because I value clarity and creativity in my own work.
Oh, I hear it. The first version sounds like separate statements. The second version connects them. It feels more complete.
Exactly. Because shows the connection between your thoughts. It tells the interviewer, here is what I think and here is why I think it. That makes you sound thoughtful and confident.
Can we practice this? I want to try using because more.
Absolutely. Let's take a common interview question. Why do you want this job?
Okay, without because, I would say, I want this job because... Wait, I already used it.
You see, it comes naturally. But let me give you a formula. When they ask why, you can say, I want this job because, and then give 2 or 3 reasons. For example, I want this job because I'm passionate about creative work, because I admire your company's values, and because I believe I can contribute to your team.
So I can use because more than once in an answer?
Yes, it creates a flow. Let me give you another example. Remember when I asked you about your greatest strength?
I said attention to detail.
Now add because. One of my greatest strengths is my attention to detail because I believe small details make a big difference in design. I always check my work carefully because I want everything to be perfect before presenting it.
That sounds so much better. It explains why I value attention to detail, not just that I have it.
Exactly. And this works for so many interview questions. What are you looking for in a job? I am looking for a role because. Why did you leave your last position? I decided to move on because.
Okay, let me try one. What if they ask, why should we hire you?
Good question. That's a common one.
I would say you should hire me because I have 3 years of experience, because I'm passionate about design that tells a story, and because I'm looking for a team where I can grow and contribute.
That is a perfect answer. Short, confident, and each because gives a reason. Do you see how it sounds like you have thought deeply about this?
I do. It doesn't sound like a memorized answer. It sounds like I really mean it.
That's the power of because. It adds depth. It shows you are not just saying words. You have reasons behind everything you say.
This is really helpful. I feel like now I can answer almost any question they ask me.
You can.
because you have the structure, you have the flavor phrases, and now you have the power of because. That is a complete toolkit for a successful interview introduction.
So what's next? Are we done?
Almost. Before we finish, let's take a moment to remember the most important points from today. And then I have a mission for our listeners.
A mission? I like that.
So, Allie, we have covered a lot today. Let's take a moment to remember the most important points. I want to make sure everything is clear in your mind before your interview.
That's a great idea. Let's do a quick recap.
Perfect. So, what is the first thing we learned? The structure for your introduction.
Present, past, future. I start with who I am now, then I briefly mention my past experience, and then I connect it to the future, why I want this job and this company.
Exactly. That is your map. It keeps you from getting lost.
Got it. Present, past, future.
Next, what did we add to make your introduction more powerful?
The flavor phrases. I'm passionate about, to show my energy. One of my strengths is to highlight what makes me special. And I'm looking for an opportunity to show I am choosing this company with purpose.
Beautiful. And finally, what small word did we learn to make your answers stronger?
Because. It gives reasons. It connects my thoughts. It shows I've thought deeply about my answers.
Exactly. So let's put it all together one more time, quickly. The structure, present, past, future, the phrases, passionate about, one of my strengths, looking for an opportunity, the connector, because.
Structure, phrases, because. I've got it.
And now, before we say goodbye, I have something important for our listeners.
The mission you mentioned?
Yes, today's lesson was all about introducing yourself with confidence, but learning is not just about listening, it's about practicing. So I want to give everyone a mission.
I love missions. What is it?
Here is your mission. Imagine you were at a job interview for your dream job. It could be any job: teacher, engineer, designer, doctor, business owner, anything. In the comments below, introduce yourself using what we learned today.
Oh, that's a great exercise.
Use the present, past, future structure. Add one or two of the flavor phrases, and if you can, use because to give a reason. Write your introduction as if you are speaking to an interviewer.
And I will be reading the comments too. I want to see how everyone introduces themselves. Maybe I will learn something new for my interview.
Exactly. We will both be reading your answers. This is your chance to practice in a safe, supportive space. And remember, there is no perfect answer. Just try. The more you practice, the more confident you become.
That is so true. When I practiced with you today, I felt my confidence grow with every try.
So, listeners, your mission is simple. Write your introduction in the comments. Tell us about your present, your past, and your future. We can't wait to read them.
And don't forget, if this lesson helped you, it can help someone else too. So share this episode with a friend who's preparing for an interview or with anyone who wants to feel more confident speaking English.
That is a beautiful way to end. Allie, I want to say you are going to do wonderfully in your interview. You have all the tools now.
Thank you, Ina. Honestly, I came here nervous and I'm leaving feeling ready. I'm so grateful for this lesson.
And I'm grateful for every listener who spends their time with us. Learning a language is a journey, and we are honored to walk with you.
So from both of us,
keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and we will see you in the next episode.
take care, everyone.
Bye for now.